What's up, guys? Jeff from Dadbod Alpha Mod here. Today I want to discuss a couple things that I think will be extremely helpful for you and your progression towards a better you and better physical shape. The first thing is knowledge of your resting metabolic rate. And there are a couple ways to find this out specifically for yourself. The first one, which we'll go over, is at a cost. I've never done, but if you do a quick Google search for any wellness clinics and look up clinics that will test your resting metabolic rate. Basically, they put a mask over your face. The mask will measure your oxygen consumption as well as your CO2 and do whatever algorithm it uses to calculate your daily resting metabolic rate. This is going to be the total number of calories for you to sustain your current weight without doing anything extra, such as exercise, walking, etc., etc. Once you have that number, you can tweak your diet and use that resting metabolic number to help start yourself along the journey, whether it's losing weight, losing body fat, or gaining muscle. The second thing I would recommend, or another way to calculate your resting metabolic rate, although this won't be as accurate as having a mask on and having it professionally checked, if you download a food tracking app. Jump on your app store, whether it's Android or iPhone, download a food tracking app and start tracking everything you take in throughout the day, whether it's liquid or food. You want to keep a good, accurate account of what your regular meal is. And I would do this at least over the course of 7 days. That way you'll be able to average out over the course of 7 days how many calories you've averaged each day. And if you've been consistent at the same weight for quite a while and are ready to make a change, after those 7 days, you will have your approximate resting metabolic rate caloric intake number. This is the number that you are going to need to sustain your current body weight. Also, with this food tracking app, based on your resting metabolic rate, you can start to make changes to your diet. Myself, when I started, a big part of my caloric intake was drinking pop or soda. Definitely not diet. I was killing them. And I made a conscious effort to start cutting back and either drinking diet sodas or Crystal Light, water, etc. That significantly cut my calories. 4 cans a day, which is what I was drinking at least, was decreasing my caloric intake by about 600 calories a day. And over the course of a week, that's going to translate to losing a pound without changing anything other than what I did, drinking sugar-free drinks. So get your resting metabolic rate and make simple changes, achievable changes, measurable changes. Maybe try to decrease your calories by 250 calories per day. With that number, over the course of 2 weeks, you'll drop a pound. Also, once you start including your exercise regimen, it's going to help speed up that process, as well as understand as well too that as your body develops and gets stronger and builds more, your resting metabolic rate will probably increase a little bit as you have more mass and you will need to fuel your body a little bit more. Another thing which I think was the game changer for me, I think everyone over the age of 30 should get a full hormone panel test, including testosterone, free testosterone, FSH, cortisol, TSH, etc., etc. If you have a primary care doctor, that's their job. Make an appointment, go in there, let them know that you need a male wellness panel. Specifically, let him know or her know that you're curious what your testosterone and your free testosterone was. Myself, like I said in my first video, I started working out about 4 years ago. I was 210 pounds. I went about 18 months of exercising very, very consistently, doing cardio, doing fitness, etc. I did notice I was getting stronger. Aesthetically, though, I wasn't noticing much of a change. I was still having those tough spots, the belly fat, your brown fat that's really difficult to burn. Um, I just wasn't seeing the improvements that I thought I should have been making. So I went out on a whim and I went to a third party site, and I won't say the name, but I used their lab tests, also their online telehealth visits. I sent off my first set of blood tests, came back. I was surprised. My testosterone was undetectable. And I believe undetectable is a number less than 100. My free testosterone, undetectable. I had a telehealth appointment with this doctor. She wanted the labs repeated. Repeated labs. My testosterone, undetectable. My free testosterone, undetectable still. At that point, I started on TRT with testosterone cypionate. And after about 3 months of my initial starting dose, which the doctor recommended, I had my labs repeated. My testosterone was still hypogonadic. I was still 267, and that's with doing 75 milligrams twice a week of testosterone. My dose was subsequently slowly increased, and verifying my numbers via lab tests after being on a specific regimen for a while, and I finally found my good zone. And I will tell you what, once my levels got to where they are right now, the changes that went with my body aesthetically, as well as a couple other things. If you have a partner, they may want to watch out. But that tough body fat started melting. Definition started improving. I started feeling better. I had more energy, etc. So definitely, highly recommend calling your primary care doctor or using a third party, getting your hormone levels tested. 1 out of 4 people above the age of 30 has low testosterone clinically, meaning that their testosterone levels are below 300. 25% of people under the age of 30 have clinical low testosterone. Myself, being that my testosterone was undetectable, unfortunately, after further discussions with my doctor, I've had Crohn's disease since I was 10 years old. I've been on prednisone, which is a systemic steroid, for the vast majority of my life. And unfortunately, that is likely the cause of my body stopping the production of testosterone. You will want to discuss these options with your doctor before starting. For instance, side effects. If you do plan to have children, it's not something you will want to do because once you start using exogenous testosterone, your body will stop making it by itself. There are other options if you are low energy. You're having some issues, this and that. Your libido's not great. I know a couple people that are in their younger 30s that do plan on having children, and same thing. Their testosterone levels were on the lower end, but symptomatically they were affected. Like I said, their mood wasn't what they thought it should be. Their energy levels weren't that great, and they started taking a medication called Clomid. Clomid is a medication that will help your body produce more testosterone. At least that's what the idea is. Myself, on the other hand, I don't want any other children. I'm happy with doing the testosterone replacement therapy. My numbers are not out of control. I do have a blood test coming up next week. Once I get those results back, I'll post those for you. But I'm happy with my numbers. They range anywhere from 477, I think, was my lowest, up to just under 800 at my highest. And those levels are going to fluctuate depending on when I get my blood test done after my last testosterone dosage. Anyways, those two things: food tracking app, hormone levels. Start making changes. Make sure you have a good music mix. Get those two straightened out, and you will be well on your way to being an alpha dad. Thanks for stopping by. And be sure to check out my other videos to help you out along your journey.